So, man, excited to be 1-0 in the conference. It's a big deal. Here on family weekend. First half, thought we played, other than the opening drive on offense, I thought it was a really good first half. Thought that was SMU football. Offensively, we were efficient. Guys were making plays. We were playing with tempo. Defensively, we're stopping the run. Big early stop. We go 3 and out, shank the punt. They get a short field. They get 3rd and goal to 1. We stop them 2 times in a row. That's a big kind of momentum swing early in the game, even without any points on the board. And then again, we get the turnover after that. We only get 3 out of it. So it's 3-0. And then I think we got another either pick or 4th down stop here right after that shortly. So I thought our defense was really good early and allowed our offense to really get going. And be up 24-3 at half and eventually 31-3 is a big deal. And it doesn't have to be pretty, but we finished. And we got a win. We got a double-digit win in conference. And hey, we're 1-0 and got a chance now to go 2-0 next week. So it was good to have a celebrated locker room.
What work did you kind of observe the defense as a whole putting in during the last 2 weeks, and do you feel like that contributed to maybe a better outcome today?
Yeah, so sometimes it's just you may change some things. We moved Deuce to playing nickel. Lamondrick's out, and we've been kind of struggling with consistency there anyways, and that allowed us to put Ahmad Moses back in the deep free safety spot. And I thought Deuce and Kyron Chambers did a really good job there, which kind of settled down the safety picture for us. And then, Marcellus and Smoke and Speedy doing a good job at corner. So I think we kind of fell into probably the best lineups for us, in terms of the 5 or 6 guys that play back there. They're not 100%. It's good getting Kilgore and Barker back. Helps our communication. But now those other linebackers have played a lot, so now all of a sudden we have depth at linebacker. And I thought defensive line did a nice job. We didn't have to sell out pressure to get pressure all night. Not that we got it all the time. They threw it a ton, but we got some sacks. We got some pressures. We stopped the run for the most part. And so I just thought it was a good group effort of just taking pride over the last 2 weeks, saying, look, we're better than this. We played good defensive stretches in those losses, but we didn't play it consistent enough. And I thought we did today. I thought we were much more consistent defensively. And I don't think we went out and just, changed everything. We tweaked some things, but I think we just played better. We tackled really well in space. We got off the field better on 3rd down, and just made more plays.
Today, only 2 penalties for 15 yards.
Thank you for highlighting that. I appreciate that.
Yeah. What happened over the bye week to
Nothing different.
That?
See, we coach against penalties all the time. We coach discipline all the time. So we didn't change anything, because if we'd have changed something, that would have just proven that we weren't doing it right to begin with. So I think we did have guys. Now we're 4 games in. We did play fundamentally better. We executed better, particularly in the first half on offense. So you didn't see a lot of the foolish penalties that we've had. Same thing on defense. We just challenged the guys, let's be done with the childish stuff. For us to win this year, last year, next year, rule number 1 is make yourself hard to beat. And if you don't beat yourself with penalties and turnovers, then you make yourself harder to beat. We had 1 turnover and 2 penalties. They had 3 or 4 turnovers and 6 penalties. That right there is a big deal. And so I think our guys were focused, and they just played fundamentally more sound and had more poise. But we coached the same way in practice we always have. We just executed better.
Kevin at one point had 16 straight completions.
I just heard that. That's crazy.
A pretty good
Yeah.
day for him overall. What did you think of his play, and was there any thought of maybe getting him out in the 4th quarter at some point, or did
Billy, I was just trying to win. I lost my voice trying to win. So,
I know. I just know he's been banged up too.
Yeah, the good news is he didn't get banged up today, I don't think. You could tell he was a lot healthier. Didn't have to run a lot, but man, he was efficient. And they're playing us the same way everybody else is. They're not going to give Romello and Jordan and RJ and those guys one-on-one chances to be explosive. So they're going to keep everything back. And you saw us get the ball on the perimeter. I thought we blocked on the perimeter well. He was really efficient. A lot of those are run perimeter options, and he's making the read to hand it, throw it. So, we actually called more than 28 run plays, probably 8 or 10 of our passes were off of run plays, and I thought he distributed the ball well, almost like a point guard. But then when we needed it, I mean, the shot to Jalen Cooper kind of got us going on the over route play action. The shot to RJ, what a catch by RJ. And then the one right next play to Matt Hibner, was still able to push the ball down the field. But he just did a really nice job of not forcing things, taking what they gave him. And I think that's why he was so efficient. And, we were able to do that, at least in the pass game.
You got Dramont Odoms into the game today, and I know you haven't had a chance to look back and watch it yet, but what have you seen from him in the practice and in the weeks leading up to today that gave you and Coach Justice the confidence to put him in for an extended run?
Well, I'll be honest with you. So Draymond's going to be a great player, and we love him. And he's been working hard. He's had a really good 2 weeks, but he also played out of necessity. I mean, Andrew Chamblee had a baby. He wasn't even here.
Right.
So Savion started at left tackle. Everybody's healthy, by the way. Everything went good. So now Savion practiced at right tackle all week to then play left tackle as of this morning. Then PJ gets hurt at halftime, can't go back. So Draymond has to play. So you're playing with Draymond, Savion, Chamblee's not here, and PJ's out. PJ came back in late when it got a little tight. He made freshman mistakes, but he also played hard, and we won, and he got invaluable experience. And I think, again, he came here, and we feel like he's going to be a special player, and days like today will help accelerate that growth for him. But he's had a good 2 weeks, and we trust our guys. We're going to recruit guys that are going to come here, and we're going to throw them in the game and let them play. And they're not going to have to be perfect, but that's how they're going to get better. We believe in all of them.
You mentioned that sequence, RJ and Hibner. Looked like they were maybe a little more involved than they've been. Was there any effort to do that? And was that also maybe part of RJ being further along in that health process?
They were both a little more healthy than they've been. I mean, Matt Hibner's been hobbling too. And so I think you could tell the bye week helped them both a lot. Kevin has a lot of faith in those guys. You saw late in the game, he hit Hibner twice to, run some clock and get some first downs. Obviously, RJ wasn't exactly open when he threw that, but he made a great throw and RJ made a great catch. So those two guys are great. They're NFL players. They're as healthy as they've been this season. And so, yeah, that was why it was a lot easier to get them more involved, and we'll continue to try to do that every week.
Defense just being, it seemed like there were just more kind of around the ball and swarming a little bit more. Just what did you see from that effort from them?
That's SMU defense. When you swarm the football, it fixes a lot of issues. I did think we tackled a lot better, but we did. We swarmed. We played with great energy. They didn't let the drive or the situation dictate how hard they were playing. We rolled a lot of guys. That's it. We just challenged them. That's it. Let's swarm. Let's play SMU football. Let's get 11 white helmets with a Mustang on the side of it around that football every time. And I think for the most part we did that, and it covered up some issues when we weren't perfect, and then when we were, we made a lot of plays. And that's got to be who we are.
Is it your call from the sideline for whether Wade McSparron's going to kick lefty or righty?
I thought you were going to ask me at the shank.
No.
No, well, we have a guy who can punt with his right and his left foot. Pretty cool, huh? So
Have you ever had that before?
No, I've never even heard of that before. So, anyways, no, Coach Cooper and Coach Casey Horney, our special teams coaches, we've been working it all fall camp. And so, I mean, it's a great weapon when you can rugby left, rugby right, punt in the pocket. So, kind of makes it really hard for the defense to overload one side. So, and he's effective with both. So, pulling that out today was good. Give some other people things to worry about. But no, it's not my call. We know throughout the week what our reps are for punt, and we knew this week we were going to give him that option to go both ways. And so,
you mentioned just trying to get a win when I asked you earlier about Kevin, but how does this one feel just to kind of get this first, the power, ACC opener and things like that?
Well, I mean, it feels great to go 1-0 in the league. And celebrating the locker room was good. I mean, our guys needed that because they worked so hard, and we were in two really good contested games. One we definitely should have won, one we could have won, and we didn't. And so to feel the reward for your work is important. And I mean, we played really. It was 31-3, and we didn't finish the way we'd like, but shoot, we finished. We won, and that is all that matters. And so this can give us momentum going into this week. We get to play at home again. We got an early kick, Stanford coming in, and we got an opportunity to go 2-0. And so, we're in that kind of elimination conference play now, like we've been in the last couple of years. And so each week, you just got to kind of find a way to win, whether it's at home or on the road. And so, I wasn't worried about who we got in or out. I just wanted to win. I wanted to see 3 zeros and us have more points than them. So, feels good.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago that once you finish a game, then they kind of have that breakthrough. Do you think this game was that breakthrough? I mean, obviously you said we didn't finish quite as well as we wanted to, but we finished.
Yeah, I mean, you got to accomplish confidence, and today we did. We're up 31-3. They have a nice little drive. Probably the one time we kind of gave up a drive on defense this game, and they make it 31-10. Then we go throw a really dumb interception, and then our defense holds them, and then I call probably the worst play in the history of college football, and we get a safety. So now it's 31-12. But they just kept fighting, and then it got tight. I mean, they're kicking an onside kick that we didn't exactly feel great, but we got it. And then we didn't run all the time off the clock, but we got it with 5 minutes left in the game, week 2, and we didn't run enough time off. We got all the way down to 1 minute, no timeouts. Could have kicked a field goal, chose not to. And then our defense stopped them, right? So, yes, it doesn't matter how it looks or how you do it. It just matters that you do it. And so now our entire team, offense, defense, special teams, we know we can finish a game. We can close out a game. And guess what? Next week, if we want to win, we're going to be in the same position at some point where we have to close out the game. Now we've been there, we can say, no, we've done it instead of, well, we almost did it. And so, it's a big step for this team.
Thanks.
Coach, that's what I wanted to ask you about the safety play after Marcellus Barnes' pick. What broke down on that play, and what call was it for that play for them to have a safety?
Yeah, so I've coached for 18 years, called plays for, 12. I don't run stretch on the goal line for that reason. There was a formation that we had not been running the ball well in between the tackles, and the ball was on the 5, not the 1 or the 2. And so we got in a formation, we felt good about running stretch, and our freshman running backs in there with our freshman left tackle, and lo and behold, the first time we've seen from them all year, they play a different look and bring pressure off that edge. We should get hats on hats and at least get a no gain or -1, but I put our guys in a really bad spot, 2 freshmen in a really bad spot, and that's just bad coaching. So, put them in a spot they've never been in, doing something they've never done, and then we get a safety. So that's not on them, that's on me.
You talk all the time.
Probably won't do it again either.
You talk all the time about your different goals and priorities and that kind of thing, and high up on that list is always winning your conference games.
Yeah.
This is, I think, 18 regular season conference games in a row, which is certainly a streak you hope is not over, but how gratifying is that to string together that much, an extended run of conference success like that?
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I think coming in today, us and Oregon each had 17. Chris told me for now we're at 18, we're in first. I don't know what time they play. So, 18 straight, so it's been like November of 22, right? I mean, at Tulane was the last time we lost. I remember that. It was a bad day. But then we came back and beat Memphis, and we haven't lost a regular season conference game since. I think it's a testament to what we're building, our coaches, our players that were here, that are still here. That's hard to do, and half of that, 9 of those 18 are in the ACC. So it's a big deal. And I think one of our guys told me on Thursday, is like, Coach, we've never played an ACC regular season game that we weren't first or tied for first in the league. Let's not stop now. Here we are 1-0. And however you look at it, we got a 1,000 winning percentage. And so we're 3-0, 2-0, 1-0. We control everything in front of us. And so our guys take a lot of pride in that. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. It doesn't happen often anywhere. A lot of good programs that don't do that. So we're humble, we're thankful, a lot of work, a lot of players did a lot of great things and won some tough games to do that. And we got to come back next week and try to make it 19.